All right, it is time now once again for the Don and Eli Take on the World podcast. My name is Elias Mellis, but you can call me Eli for short. And who is this incredible lady here to my right? Who are you?
Hello, everybody, and welcome back. My name is Dawn Ledgerwood, and I am Eli's girlfriend.
That's right. Your name is Dawn Ledgerwood, and you're my amazing, wonderful, beautiful, sweet, kind, and sincere girlfriend.
Yes.
Absolutely. All right. Well, let's get right to it because we have a lot to talk about and not a whole lot of time. Welcome back to another episode of the Don and Eli Take on the World podcast. This is episode number 63, and today's show title is Come Share Your Story at the GNA. One more time, episode number 63 of the Don and Eli Take on the World podcast is Come Share Your Story at the GNA. So, Don, today we're talking about something close to our hearts. We're talking about stories, real people, real struggles, real healings, real victories, and real conversations. This episode is called Come Share Your Story at the GNA. And today, Don and I want to invite people to come on our podcast, to sit down with us, to open up, to share what they have been through, to talk about what they have overcome, to talk about what they are still working through, and to let their story help someone else. Because here at the GNA, the Genuine Networking Association, we believe everyone has a story. Everyone has been through something. Everyone has learned something. And sometimes the thing you survived, the thing you overcame, the thing you are still fighting through can become the exact thing that helps someone else feel less alone. This podcast is not about being perfect. It is not about having all the answers. It is not about trying to look good for the camera. It is about being real. It is about having honest conversations. It is about connection. It is about encouragement. It is about reminding people that they matter and that their story matters. So today, we're going to talk about why we want people to come on the show, what kind of stories we are looking for, how sharing your story can help others, how it can help you, and why GNA is a place where people can come together to support each other and build something positive. But before we get to that, as always, my lovely lady Dawn, let me ask you, how's the past week gone for you here at the GNA, which again is short for Genuine Networking Association?
Well, it's been another exciting week, a good week for the GNA. Lots of progress is happening, and I just feel really good about everything. And other than that, we just had a really good week. We've spent a lot of time together. We've, tried some new restaurants, and just had a really good week this week. And there's nothing for me really to complain about or even talk about that. Just a great week in general.
Absolutely. I'm not going to say anything, but one of our friends, as of the time of recording this, we record these on Sundays. He's live again.
I saw that.
You saw it too. I'm not going to say anything because the people in podcast land don't need to know about the craziness that's going on YouTube that's been surrounding us. We've talked about that a bit. We're not going to talk about that here today. We're going to keep it positive, and we want to talk more about people sharing their stories with us because your story can help someone. Not only can it help yourself, it can help other people. And I think what makes people feel really good about themselves the most is when they know that their stories help other people. Now, let me ask you this, babe. That was a great intro there in the monologue, and thank you for your thoughts. But you have shared many stories. You've been through a lot. does that make you feel really good to share your stories when some people get something out of it and it turns their life around? I know there's a lot of negativity that also comes along with sharing your stories publicly, but regarding the positive aspect, how does it make you feel when you share your stories and it truly helps others?
Well, at first, it was scary. I was opening up myself. I was vulnerable to what the rest of the world would think of me and my story.
Mm-hmm.
I do know that there are people out there that have heard my story and it kind of hit them. I don't know if it's made changes in their life personally, but I've been told that my words have hit home to some people and made them think more about their own life. So that's just a great thing we could do here at the GNA. With my story, it was scary. And the backlash and the hate that I got was outrageous. It was so much overwhelming, emotionally. And I was shocked, honest to God. I literally was shocked that people actually act that way.
Well, when outrage sells and makes more money than anything else, immediately, I understand it surprised you, but it probably doesn't surprise you anymore.
Well, not anymore, no.
Because you understand the concept now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I do know that even if I don't get a response or a message or anything, I know that there are people out there that relate to me. And if I could just say, you're not alone, I'm going through the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
I offer the olive branch for you to come and speak to us about it and not have to feel ashamed because we're all in the same boat.
Right.
So yes, I think.
We're all human. We all make mistakes. We all say things that we don't mean. Right. And we learn from those mistakes. And our mistakes are teaching points to help other people to learn and hopefully not make the same mistakes we made or not make them as often as we did until we finally figured out the right things to do.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's what we're really big about here at the GNA. We're not here to tell people what to do. We're not here to say we're any better than you. We're here because we have experience. We've been down the rough road of life. And we're still going down the rough road of life. I mean, life is rough. It's nothing is easy. Nothing comes easy. But, you can try to make it as easy as possible. And we want to try to help you make it as easy as possible by learning from, our stories. And we can also learn from your stories. And other people can learn from your stories. Go ahead.
No, that's the thing is that we could both help each other with how we're dealing with situations in our life. And my only thing is I would not, and this is from something I've gone through, don't ever give super, super personal details about members of your family or your friends because people out there will actually,
they'll exploit it.
Yeah, they'll exploit it.
Right.
And so I would say if you are going to go online, you are going to be there, but proceed with caution and, stand your ground, but proceed with caution.
I get what you're saying, Dave.
Yeah.
I agree with you for the most part, but here's the thing. People are going to exploit anything and everything. You can say the nicest thing about your family and they'll still try to exploit it. There are people out there that will try to monetize and use you as a story, no matter what you say or do, right? And so to a certain extent, I get where you're coming from. On the flip side, you have to come into, sharing your story and having an understanding that there are going to be people that are going to attack your story, but there are also going to be a lot of people that are going to relate to your story. And, you sharing your story potentially could save someone's life. There are people out there that, are struggling with mental health issues because they feel like the whole world is against them. They feel like they're not worth it. We want to let you all know that you're all worth it. Everyone is worth it, right? So don't be afraid to come and share your story publicly, and understand there are going to be some people, maybe more than some people, that attack your story and try to weaponize your story for content and donations and all that. But those are the people that actually need the most help. Those are the people that you're actually helping the most. In my opinion, the people that attack these positive stories that people have been through, right? They're the ones that are benefiting the most.
Mm-hmm.
Because when they attack your genuine story of what you've been through, raw and real, and how you turn things around, right? They, in essence, are only attacking it because they're currently going through the same thing, or they've been through the same thing, and they're relating to it. And because they haven't come to terms with it yet, the only thing that their brain is programmed to do, in my opinion, is to attack it. Go ahead.
Yeah. No, I mean, I believe that these people are projecting
Massively.
Naturally the stuff that they're going through. They're projecting it out, and even though they're hearing what we're saying and they know that we're helping, what they want to do is just project negativity. They don't want, people to be like, oh, actually, so-and-so is making sense. He wants to gaslight, or she wants to do this.
Right.
Or, it's just, my advice is trying to, follow that Taylor Swift song. Haters are going to hate. But I'm just going to shake it off, because you've got to go into this with that mentality. And it's really hard if it's your first time.
Absolutely, babe. Absolutely. Now, before we get to the 10 questions we have here today for you, and then I'm going to respond after you respond. What do you think triggers you the most? What triggers anyone the most, including you?
Ignorance.
Well,
when people
when people say something about you,
when people speak about myself or anybody else, this goes around to anybody. When they speak about something without knowing the whole story or the actual facts, and they just go off of what they're being told.
Well, what I was more so thinking, I get where you're coming from, is the truth is the most triggering to people. So if I call you out on the truth, you call me out on the truth, you might have a little bit of a reaction. I might have a little bit of a reaction. Sometimes when people aren't ready to face the truth regarding certain aspects they're currently dealing with, and someone calls them out, because people can see your issues. Even if you have issues, they're very apparent. And, people can read that sometimes, right? And when people call you out and you're not ready to address your own issues, that's what's going to trigger you the most. So when you've shared your stories, when I've shared my stories, and other people that have come on our platform in the past to share their stories, or future people that will come on and share their stories, when if they're going to get attacked by some people, the people that attack them are people that are relating, and they're just not ready to, face reality. It's basically, them not wanting to deal with the truth. No one wants to be called out on the truth, and no one wants to hear stories relatable to the truth that they are not ready to address yet.
Yeah.
A lot of people are trying to hide certain things because they feel embarrassed. They think the public's going to think something really weird or bad about them. They think that, their family, their friends in the real world may look at them differently. The truth of the matter is, people are going to look at you differently if you're not truthful, because the people closest to you, and even sometimes people online, they can read what's actually going through. And if you try to hide that, you're making your own situation worse. That's just my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
What are your thoughts?
Well, I go back to another song called Issues, and it says, I've got issues, but you've got them too. We all have issues.
Absolutely.
And what we need to do is help each other with the issues, not bring another person down, not capitalize on it by exploiting all over the internet this person's weakness. So, everybody has issues. Y'all have to realize that nobody is issue free.
Right. All right, my love, you ready to get to the first 5 questions, and then you'll take your break at the 45-minute mark or so?
Yes.
And then we'll come back for the last 5 and wrap it up. All right. Question number 1, babe, the foundation question. Question number 1's always the foundation question. So, Dawn, when you hear the phrase, come share your story at the GNA, what does that mean to you?
That means that it feels like it's a welcoming place that, I can feel safe and feel whatever I'm going to be talking to them about is going to stay within the two of us or the two people involved.
Well, we're talking about sharing their story publicly, like on our podcast.
Yes. But I'm also saying, about the GNA, it doesn't have to be public if you want help from the GNA.
Sure, we could talk to people privately, but what we're saying is that this is regarding getting people to come on the public podcast to share their story publicly to help people. And, they should not be afraid to do that. And this is a safe place to do it because we have your back. No matter what kind of reaction it gets publicly, we have your back. Go ahead.
No, and that's what I was saying is when you come to the GNA, you can have a feeling of safety, and just somebody actually caring about you, checking in on you.
Mm-hmm.
We're not one of those one stop, okay, we'll give you help and then we forget about you. No, this is an ongoing thing. We really want to have these personal relationships that people can feel comfortable talking to us, or it doesn't even have to be Eli or myself. It could be any of the other members of the executive team.
Right.
So,
and right now, we're still in the growing stage, and right now is a really good time to become a part of our organization. It is free. All you have to do is follow us on YouTube. That's mainly where we're at right now. So if you're on the audio only podcast network, you can go in the description section. There's a link there. And that will redirect you back to our main channel, GNA, Genuine Personal Development. You can subscribe there, bang the bell, select the notifications. Then go below that description, subscribe to our secondary live streaming channel. That is in the description section, a couple lines down, GNA2, Genuine Live Personal Development, where we go live, if not every day, almost every day. So we're live very often. And right now, because, we're not extremely big, YouTubers, we have more time and resources to personalize things. As we grow, Don and I are still going to try to give as much personalization as possible, but we're going to have more and more people helping us out at that point. So, you may not be working with us. You may be working with, one of our, trusted associates or executive team members. But right now it's a really good time. Right now is a really good time to become a part of us. And even if things are going well for you, if you're struggling to figure out, what your purpose is, if you're not happy with your job, but it pays the bills and, you wish you could do something more along the lines of what you enjoy doing, which is your purpose, we can help you, and inspire you to take the right action to turn that around, maybe, go back to school and, get a certificate, get, get a license for, a different industry that you enjoy. There are many things you can do, and, we can, encourage you and inspire you and motivate you to start doing the things that you more so enjoy, including work, because that's the main reason why, people are unhappy, in my opinion, is that they're working a dead-end job, or they're working a job that pays well and has opportunities, but they don't enjoy it. You have to enjoy what you do for a living, because your job is going to affect every other aspect of your life. If you're unhappy at work, trust me, you're going to bring that home.
You're going to be unhappy at home.
You're going to be unhappy at home. You don't want that. I love what I do. We love what we do. We want you to love what you do too. Anything else? Go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, yeah, and we welcome anybody who wants to even talk to us about helping, if you think that there's something we could do better to help the rest of the community.
We're open to feedback.
Yeah, we would love the feedback. So that was all I wanted to add.
We're open to feedback from people that are not trolling. A lot of people seem to think, especially on YouTube, that we're not open to feedback. We are. But the bottom line is trolling feedback is not measurable feedback. It's not genuine feedback. It's basically just people harassing you because they want attention. Anyway, we don't need to get into that. But anything else for number 1, babe?
No.
I shared my thoughts. Let's head on to number 2 here. Number 2, why stories matter. Let me ask you, babe. Dawn, why do you think people's personal stories are so powerful?
Because it's that person. It's like that person in your life. You want to know their stories and where they've come from. And just doing that can inspire you to be better or to do something that, I was a little, weary about doing, but you know what? This person is so cool. They do it. I think I'm going to do that. Right. It's just one of those things. It's just about bringing people together who might be going through the same stuff, but can also do something fun to distract themselves. We could chit chat about anything, just to get your mind off of something. So, I mean, we're open to anything. That's what I'm trying to say.
Absolutely. Anything else, babe?
Nope.
So well said. Why do I think people's personal stories are so powerful? I say this with humility, because I know my story is very powerful, because I've been through a lot. I've also been criticized quite a bit, probably more than the average person has. And a lot of people have asked me, after dealing with all of the abuse and the hate and the trolling, and all the real life aspects that people have, taken towards me, especially on YouTube, creating content over the last 8 or 9 years. Why do you keep doing it? I keep doing it because I know my stories matter. Just like Dawn's stories matter. Just like your stories matter. We have a great executive team now. We have, Sandra Palacio. We have Tia. We have ODN. Their stories matter. They've shared their stories publicly and even more so with us. And when you share your story, you allow people to get to know you. And it is one of the most critical ways, in my opinion, to bond with someone in a trustworthy way. Because people that are trustworthy are not afraid to share their story, in my opinion. People that are not trustworthy, in my opinion, are very closed off. You can kind of see people that hesitate to share their stories about their experiences. And that includes getting a little personal. If people are afraid to get a little personal to share their story with you, that means they're closed off, in my opinion. And so, my whole thing is this. I've been through a lot. Initially, I would complain a lot. This was in my younger days. And then I started to realize, instead of complaining, why not just dig deep, and do whatever I can to turn things around, accept the responsibility of my actions, and then share my stories of how I messed up so other people can learn from my mistakes. That's why I feel my stories are so powerful, and that's why I keep pushing forward despite all of the blowback or clapback, however you want to call it, I've received online.
Mm-hmm.
And trust me, none of you will probably ever get it as bad as I have. Okay? And I'm still around. And I still enjoy doing this. And I'm going to keep pushing forward, and so should you.
I wanted to say something.
Yeah.
Sorry. Is when you tell your story to somebody, it actually shows that person why you are the person who you are that day.
Right.
It explains, like, if you are bitter, if you're happy, if you're anxious about certain things, that just eliminates speculation, and that was the right word, right? Speculation.
Yeah, speculation.
Yeah.
It's assumption.
Yeah, assumption. Just
you're guessing. That's a word people use in court. Attorneys use that in court because speculation doesn't work in court. You need solid proof.
Mm-hmm. That's why I'm saying,
right,
if you don't talk to the person and get their story, then you're speculating on why they behave the way they do. I know.
You think it's time for B?
I don't know.
He already did. I think he may have to.
Yeah.
Hold on. Let me turn up the camera here real quick. Dawn is gonna try to take the big dog out for a second, to go number 2, because he, excuse me, these allergies, because he went number 1 earlier. It's so distracting. But anyway, while Dawn does that, and hopefully I stop getting distracted. We really want you to come share your stories, folks. Don't be afraid. There are a lot of people on YouTube that have seen what I've been through the last 8 or 9 years. And if you look deeper, you'll see some videos, some very negative videos people have made about me. I ask you folks to ignore that and give us a chance, because the reason why people have made those negative videos on us is because we've been nothing but positive, and because a lot of these people have struggled with their positivity, they don't think we should be able to be positive or be able to be perceived as positive. We are actually positive. So yeah, give us a chance. Don't let past selective, out of context, clipped videos that you may come across us give you the wrong idea.
I'm ready.
Okay, let's put the camera back on. All good?
Yeah. We had success.
Good. So now he should be able to settle down.
Yeah.
The big dog, right?
Yeah.
All right. Let's get to question number 3, babe.
Okay.
Why GNA wants guests? So, Dawn, why do you think GNA should be a place where people come to share their story?
Like I said, it's a safe space. And, with us, you don't have to share your full story right away. Put the feelers out. Always read the room on what you feel comfortable with. Yeah. That's why I say it's not just Eli and myself. There are 3 other executives that have gone through a lot in their lives and would be happy to talk to you as well. So we're just a safe space because we have all been through some bullshit.
Absolutely.
And so your bullshit's no different than mine.
Right.
So lay it on me.
Right.
We all have skeletons, honey.
Absolutely. Anything else, my love?
No, my love.
So why do I think the GNA should be a place where people come to share their story. Well, first of all, I created the organization because I wanted something. I wanted something to be genuine. I wanted people to understand that when you're dealing with us, you're dealing with genuine, authentic people that care more about you than just your money. Now, yes, we do accept donations, and we may have some products and services to sell down the road, but they're going to be reasonable and fully optional. Most people can come around and never donate or pay us a dime or a penny. And, if you watch us on YouTube, we may get a little bit of ad revenue. Or if you have YouTube Premium, we get a little bit of revenue. There are other ways that we can make money. But the purpose is about being genuine and authentic, and people feeling like they're getting value and they're getting something from a trustworthy source. This is not fake networking. It's not shallow networking. It's not about just, like what would happen back in the days when I used to network in person, and I ran the GNA in person, running networking events here all over Northern California. It's not just about exchanging business cards and walking away. It's about getting to know, like, and trust people. We used to have this very important phrase at our in-person networking events many years ago that we used to run before COVID hit. And it was about know, like, and trust. So you exchange business cards, not necessarily with the intent to sell someone your product, because these are business owners networking together. Yeah, we might sell each other products at times. We did. But it's more so about creating a referral base. And
it's about selling yourself, not products.
Yeah, well, it's about, yes, it's about, that's a good way to put it, selling yourself, meaning that you're allowing people to get to know you, like you, and trust you.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll tell you this, I made so many friends networking, and I'm still friends with these people on Facebook and LinkedIn and other social media sites, and still on my email list and all of that. A lot of them I never did business with. Some of them I did. Some of them I referred business to. Some of them referred business to me. But at the end of the day, everyone's a resource. You want to keep good relationships with people, because you never know when you're going to need something from someone that is the expert in that industry and might be willing to help you at a reduced rate. Or if it's something simple, you might be able to call them at 10 o'clock at night for an emergency situation to get an answer you need that you would have had to wait till the next day and probably pay someone a lot of money for, right? So, it's about learning about people and, learning about what they care about. It's not just about what you care about. It's about what other people care about. Because when you care about other people, they naturally start to care about you. Does that make sense, babe?
Total sense.
Is there anything else you'd like to add to that?
No.
Okay. We are at 33 minutes. Question number 4. What kind of stories we want? So, babe, Dawn, what kind of stories do you think people could come on and share with us?
Whatever they like to share. That's up to them. But they could share their life experiences. They can, their business life experience. They can talk about relationships. They can talk about anything, with us. That's the thing. We're an open book here. That's what I could say, is that you could trust us and ask us whatever you need.
Anything else you want to add to that?
No.
So, what kind of stories do I think people could come on and share with us? The sky's the limit, but what I think are the most important stories, in my opinion, is dealing with trauma and overcoming trauma. If you haven't noticed, if you haven't noticed, especially because now the world has gone online and it's gotten really crazy. And you're basically seeing people behave in erratic and weird ways. And a lot of people think that, oh, it's just the internet. And to a certain extent, maybe it is. But for the most part, that's how these people really are. A lot of people are dealing with trauma and struggling with trauma. Maybe a trauma that stems back to their childhood, unresolved, right? It may be unresolved because, the way the parents raised those kids or those people wasn't the most proper way. Maybe something happened and there isn't closure between the parents and their child. We want to hear those stories, and I know it's not easy to share them, but that is what most people are struggling with nowadays. Mental health is a very critical thing, don't you think?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay. And the rate of people ending themselves, let's put it that way to be YouTube friendly, YouTube safe, people taking their own lives, that rate has gone up. We need to bring that down. We need to eliminate that completely, because everyone deserves to live. Everyone deserves to live. And, going back to when we went to Fan Fest earlier this year, in San Francisco, the San Francisco Giants Fan Fest, and on the way back, our train, hit someone and, they lost their life. That's just
tragic.
It's really tragic. It's really sad. And here's the thing. If there's someone out there that's dealing with mental health issues like that, and you can share your story, not only will it help you feel better and help you feel like you're doing good, and it will turn your life around, it might save someone else's life. Your stories can save other people's lives. Mm-hmm. We want to hear your stories, and we want to hear them raw and real.
And some of your stories can give even us inspiration.
Absolutely.
On something that we might personally be going through right now.
Right.
So it's not that we're just here to help you all. You're also here to help us.
Well, we're here to learn from you as well, because here's the thing. Even the most experienced people in the world, babe, and you and I have quite a lot of experience. You just turned 51. I turned 52 late last year in December. And even though we've learned a lot, we're very knowledgeable, we're still learning each and every day. We can and want to learn from you. We want to learn more about you, because the more we learn about you and the more of you that come around and allow us to learn from you, the more we can all help this world become a better place together. My ultimate goal is to make the world a better place. Right now, I'll tell you this, we're all struggling right now, because of the war we're dealing with, thanks to our wonderful, and I say this with sarcasm, I'm not a Trump supporter, thanks to our wonderful President Donald J. Trump. This war is ridiculous. Gas prices are at an all-time high. The cost of living keeps going up. Inflation is ridiculous. I mean, this guy, made promises that all the prices were going to go down and things are going to be more affordable, better than they were with Biden. And man, I would take the Biden era any day.
Yeah. Unfortunately, what is happening right now is a lot of people in this country are being pushed into being unhomed or homeless. And funny thing is
affordability.
It's the affordability. That's what I'm saying. They're going to lose things and wind up being homeless. But then the funny thing is that Donald J. Trump will come back and say, we have a homeless problem in America. Let's get rid of the homeless problem, because that's how he operates.
Well, it's one thing to say, let's get rid of the homeless problem. It's another thing to take action or not.
But I'm just saying, he's gaslighting kind of, because he created the homeless.
Oh, he's the most massive.
By by maximizing and increasing the cost of living
His
so much.
His decisions affect us all.
Absolutely.
Right.
And that's what I'm saying. A lot of people are going to be affected about, their budget, their money situation right now. And
Right.
that is something that causes a lot of mental heartache, stress, everything. Having somebody who is everybody's going through this.
Right.
We're here for you. Like other people, you're not alone, basically.
Yeah, basically throughout this show, that word is stuck in my mouth, story. Throughout this show, we're going to sound repetitive, but it's the repetitive ways of us talking about this that's what's going to stick with you, and hopefully, convince you to decide to come and share your story. Come and share your story with us. And don't be afraid. These shows are pre-recorded. If we do need to edit, we can. I'd prefer not to. We typically record live on tape, but we can edit. I mean, so don't be afraid to share our stories. Don't be afraid to share your stories with us, which is what I'm trying to say. And don't be afraid to be vulnerable, because the more vulnerable you are, the more value you bring to the organization. And the organization is not about us. It's about everybody. The more value you bring with your story, the more value you bring to everyone else that we're trying to help better their lives. All right.
I went into another song.
Yeah.
True Colors by Cyndi
Lauper.
Cyndi Lauper.
Cyndi Lauper, yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. But I want to see your true colors shining through. Don't just tell me about all this. I want to see it just come off of you,
Our dog Bochi today just won't settle.
You know why? I think because he slept a lot this morning. Like, he did some hard snoring kind of sleep. And
he wants to play now.
I think he wants to play. He has energy.
Oh.
Because they got up earlier and kind of moved around in the morning. And then I think about 10 o'clock, he laid down on the couch on Eli's little pillow there. When we watch TV, we have our pillows we lay up against and stuff.
Yeah,
so he has Eli's pillow as his pillow, and he's snoring. And so I think now he's like, all right.
He's wide awake, huh?
Time to play. Where's my toys?
All right. We are at 43 minutes. Let's get to the fifth question, and then we'll take your break. Question number 5, how being interviewed can help the guest. So, babe, Dawn, how do you think being interviewed on a podcast can help the person sharing their story?
I think it helps give them direction. It gives them that opportunity to feel comfortable enough to start talking and opening up. I think that's really what it's about, is how you make the other person feel, in light of the situation. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. You want to add anything else to that?
I don't think so.
Okay. Well, how I feel being interviewed on a podcast can help the person sharing their story. I can't say this about other people that do podcasts. I hope they're the same. But here at the GNA, it's not just about interviewing you. It's about helping you overcome your fears of public speaking, which when you're on a podcast, whether it's audio only or audio and video, it's public speaking. And people fear public speaking. And I'm here to say you really shouldn't, because your story is so valuable. It's so valuable not only to the rest of us, but it's valuable to you. It'll make you feel better about yourself knowing that your story is influencing people in a good way and helping people turn their lives around, right?
Yeah.
And people fear doing podcasts or going on YouTube live streams or being interviewed on TV, the radio, YouTube, wherever, right? And I understand that. We've all had those initial fears. I had the fear of public speaking when I started doing it 25 plus years ago for the first time. But people encouraged me, and I got over that hump. And now I can't keep my mouth shut. Trust me, you're going to feel scared, and you're going to feel like, oh, I don't know what to say. I'm going to screw up. We've all been there. I've been there. People hear me talk now, and they're like, man, this guy is a motor mouth. He can't keep his mouth shut. How did he ever fear public speaking? Everyone fears public speaking when they first do it. It's new.
Yeah.
But once you start doing it, and once you see how your stories impact other people, you're gonna be motivated to want to do it again. You're not going to be able to wait until the next time that you do it. So that's one aspect. Being interviewed can help our guests, especially if you've never done an interview or a podcast before, or if you've only done it a few times and you're still, trying to get over that fear of public speaking or being in the public spotlight, right? But another way that being interviewed can help the guest is if you have a business, we allow people to promote their business. Now, we don't do hard selling here at the GNA, but you can come on and share your business and, share with us your purpose and what got you to, run a business like that, or participate with a business like that, or sell products from a business like that. And then, yes, we will also share your link. So if people want to buy your products or services, we'll share that in the description section of the podcast. And we can even share it out on our community walls on YouTube and other social media platforms that we're on as well. Being interviewed is the stepping stone to everything else. When you're interviewed, whether it's regular TV, podcast, YouTube, wherever, it's more exposure that you wouldn't have had otherwise. Exposure is exposure. And let me tell you what I've learned. Good, bad, or indifferent, exposure is exposure. Okay? You're going to get some negativity, but you're also going to have some positivity. And eventually, when you get into the groove and it's second nature to you, like it is with Don and I, at that point, all the negativity is not going to matter because the positive people are going to outweigh the negative people.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
What are your thoughts about that, my love?
I agree with you. Yeah.
All right. Anything else you want to add before break time?
No, I liked your point there that you were making about, just right now about the sharing. I don't want to say what you were saying, but I really agree with what you were just saying right now.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying?
Getting over the fear of public speaking.
Yes, that makes a lot of sense.
And us encouraging you, like we did with our GNA executive Tia, because she hadn't really done this before.
Yes.
And we told her, look, it's just like having a conversation, but it's being recorded.
Yeah.
Now, our podcasts are pre-recorded. I think she's come on with us live one time. But the bottom line is that it's much easier to take that first step when you've never done it before, when you have a group of people you trust and that can encourage you and say, hey, look, I'm going to ask you the questions. If you start to go off tangent, we'll professionally reel you back in. There's a way a good host like myself and Don can lead you into the questions. And if you're struggling to get to the point, we can tactfully guide you back onto the point. And so Tia is a great example of this because she's now a natural. She can come on anytime and talk. But initially, she's like, well, what am I going to say? And this and that. Well, that's what happened to me the first time I was, asked to do public speaking 25 plus years ago. It happens to all of us. It's about getting over that hump. And that's one thing. I'll tell you this. the fear of speaking in public or approaching people in public, if you can't get over that, that's going to be your demise. Because if you can't engage with people, in my opinion, that's the biggest failure right there.
I say, how do you work if you can't engage with people?
Right. Even if you work from home, you got to talk with people on the phone sometimes,
or computer,
or through a chat. And the bottom line is your tonality is going to come through on the phone, in person, in the chat. You got to know how to engage people.
Yeah, and that comes with a lot of confidence too. You build the confidence
over time.
Over time.
But you need the proper encouragement like we're able to give. Go ahead.
Yes. I also wanted to say, based on some unsolicited advice, let's see. I was going to say, maybe we can go through our list and unblock a couple people, and then have anybody who wants to email Eli and possibly be on here, if you can be reasonable, and we'll talk about it prior, email him and let him know. Because we would like to hear some of the other side of what you feel.
So what Dawn is talking about is there's a group of people on YouTube that have been targeting us and harassing us. We're not talking about the creators, but we're talking about there are people in their audience and people that have found out about us through this type of targeted harassment we've been dealing with for years. And what Dawn is basically saying is that, hey, look, some of you that are in this group are actually not bad people. You're stuck in a rut and you're going there to try to regulate instead of coming to a positive group where we're all regulated here. Like, this is all about good, positive people. Now, there are times where we've had to defend ourselves on YouTube, for example. And there are times where I've said some things that are mean and insulting. So as Dawn, we're human. We're not perfect. And we're not asking you to be perfect. But the difference between us here and them over there is that we are reasonable and they're not. And the thing is, there are people within those groups that want to be reasonable or are reasonable, but they're not ready to jump over that hump yet. It's much easier for them to be able to be around negative people so they can use attacking us or attacking others as their method of regulating, which is not the best way. Mm-hmm. It doesn't resolve the underlying issue. It might temporarily make you feel better for insulting someone, but it's not going to fix the long-term issue. We're here to fix the long-term issue, right? So like Dawn said, if anyone, would like to be interviewed, even if you feel that, we would have never given you the chance until Dawn just mentioned that, email me, eliasmellis@genuinenetworkingassociation.org. Link is below in the description. Eventually, I'm going to change it over to eliasmellis@GNAnetwork.org. I've got to eventually get to that. I've been very busy, so is Dawn, and we're gonna get that changed soon. But link is in the description to the email, whether you're on the audio-only podcast network, wherever you're listening to us, or on YouTube. The link to my email, eliasmellis@genuinenetworkingassociation.org, is there. All right. Anything else, babe? We are at 54 minutes. You ready for the first break?
Yes.
Let me turn off the camera here. Do you like the background, by the way, babe?
I love the sunflowers, baby.
And the trees?
Yeah. You know me.
All right. I do. You are my sunshine. Right. Anyway. All right. While Dawn steps away to take her break, let me remind each and every one of you that if you are listening to us on the audio-only podcast network, such as Apple, Spotify, Amazon's Music, my lady's favorite, iHeartRadio, Amazon's Audible. We're also on YouTube's Music. On YouTube Music, you can listen to us or watch us on video because obviously YouTube Music is owned by YouTube, where the video of our podcast is at. We're also on many of the other not as well-known or not as popular audio-only podcast networks. So if you're listening to us anywhere audio-only and you would like to watch the video version of our podcast, which is basically the same thing, it just includes the video portion. We actually rip the audio for the audio-only podcast from the video that we record. So if you're listening to us audio-only, go below the description section about halfway down. You'll see a link to this particular episode's video version on our main channel, GNA, Genuine Personal Development. When you go over there, please make sure you subscribe, you bang the bell, and select the notifications so you don't miss anything. Then go below that description section while you're there, a couple lines down. You'll see the link to GNA 2, Genuine Live Personal Development, where we go live, if not every day, almost every day. I try to do a Walking with Purpose stream, if not every day, at least 4 or 5 times a week. Sometimes it's a little less than that. Sometimes it's more. Sometimes I can go 30 days straight, but lately I've had to take some breaks because there's been a lot of stuff going on. But we go live regularly on GNA 2, Genuine Live Personal Development, whether it's myself on a walk. Sometimes we do Driving with Purpose streams from the car, on the road to somewhere with Don and I. Sometimes it's just myself. Sometimes Don and I will do on the couch with Don and Eli, more personalized, informal live streams where we answer your questions and we just hang out with you folks. Sometimes we do in-studio streams by myself or with Don. Sometimes we'll bring guests on from the studio. It just all depends. So if you want more of us and you want to start participating in more of a positive online environment that's also fun, and I'll tell you, we're full of resources. We have resources that you wouldn't believe that you'll benefit from by hanging out with us. So make sure you subscribe, bang the bell, and select the notifications to GNA2, Genuine Live Personal Development. And between those two channels, that's where we're at most of the time. And we're not really that focused on our other social media presence right now. Oh, Dawn was trying to get back into the podcast room, and she couldn't open the door, and then she opened it finally and said, I have lotion on my hands. It's a little slippery, huh?
Yeah. After I washed my hands, I wanted to put more lotion on. So.
Okay. Are you almost ready for the camera to pop back on?
Yes.
We are at 57, now 58 minutes.
Okay.
You ready?
Yeah.
Okay, Dawn is ready. All right. Welcome back, my love. How was your break?
Oh, quick but good. Made it in time. I'm just kidding.
Well,
I had plenty of time.
Absolutely.
It's a joke.
I know it's a joke. It's a great joke. All right.
I have a little more life now.
Oh, okay. Wonderful. Okay, so let's get to question number 6 here. Question number 6. How their story can help others. And we've been kind of already talking about this, but Dawn, what would you say to someone who thinks, why would anyone care about my story? That is the fear, isn't it? The fear is partially, why would anyone care to hear my story? Who am I? I'm nobody, right?
Yeah, why is my story special? Right. But it is.
Everyone's story is special.
It is, because everybody's story has a way of reaching somebody. We go through a lot of things in life, and we don't realize how many people are like closet drinkers, closet alcoholics, because they go to work all day and they're fine. They don't drink there, but then they go home and they just drink themselves to death. And you wouldn't know any better, because they go out there every day with their head held high and
closet drinkers.
Yeah. And I mean, there's a lot of people that are just that miserable that they just open a bottle of wine or, a bottle of vodka.
When you said, and we don't say it because I want to keep this clean. but you reminded me of our good friend and GNA executive ODN, who's our director of online safety. He likes to use the word closeted a lot in a different context, but we're not.
No, you're right. You're right. I know.
We're not going to say it. We've got to keep it clean.
Yes.
But he really loves that word.
He's not talking about skeletons.
I know. ODN loves that word closeted. Right, ODN? If you even watch this, I bet he doesn't even watch our podcast, but anyway, it's okay. It's all good. Anyway, anything else you want to add to that, babe?
No.
So why would I think someone, what would I say to someone who thinks, why would anyone care about my story? We've all felt that way. I've felt that way. Before I started doing all this many, many years ago, decades ago. I was doing podcasting before video came out. I was doing public speaking 25 plus years ago. And the truth of the matter is, everyone's story is unique and special. And people that don't care about your story are struggling more so internally than you are.
Yeah. You might not realize how much you're helping, but people that go around who have been success stories, people that have been caught in warfare or something and had an amputated limb, how they go out there and tell like groups of students at school, like, look, don't be scared to get into the military because this is not going to be your destiny. This was mine. But let me share my experience with you.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, it could go with anything.
Yeah. Your story matters.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, it matters. It matters to us, myself, Dawn, the GNA, and it does matter to anyone that comes across it, whether they say it doesn't or not.
Mm-hmm.
Because everyone's story has something, at least one or two things that everyone can learn from, whether they admit it or not, whether they appreciate it or not.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? The people that come at you for sharing your story are struggling more so than you are. And they're just jealous at the fact that you have the balls and tenacity to share your story when they don't.
Well, yeah.
That's the truth of the matter.
And these don't have to be traumatic events. These could be like, I'm having a lot of trouble balancing my budget and,
or managing my time.
Right. Yeah. How can you guys help? We'd like to get a lot of people's feedback on that because it's not us. We don't solve all the problems, other people out there could have had the same experience or something similar. So, yeah, I mean, when you come out here, I always say come with caution, but you know what? When you come to the GNA, the doors are open and there's no need to fear anything.
You know what I used to say at our networking events, and I'll say it again here. Do you remember the days when you would go to C's Candy and you would pull the number?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they have that anymore. We went to C's here in Redwood City last year, and they didn't have the number. They just walk around and help you. But it used to be back in the days when you would go into a business. This was the 80s and maybe the early to mid-90s.
You used to do that in DMV, too.
Right. You will pull the ticket, and they say, now serving, right? Well, the DMV still kind of does that, but now they do it digitally from your phone.
Yeah.
Now, I guess the ticketing system has gone digital, if places even use it at all. But let's take the theory, or let's take the past where you would have to pull a number, right? At the GNA, we don't treat you just like a number or another number. Okay, it's not about you pulling a ticket and
it's not now serving number 28.
Now serving number 65.
Yeah,
right.
No, that's not how it works.
No, this is not about it being robotic or waiting in a queue. I mean, now, don't get me wrong, depending on how busy we are and stuff, it might take a day or two to get back to you. We try to get back to people much sooner than that.
We try to do it within 24 hours.
We do. But you know, we care about your well-being, and we care about prioritizing your well-being. And here's the thing. Some situations require you to drop everything and some don't. Some cases are more urgent than others. If somebody is really struggling with something, like they're panicking, they're having a mental breakdown. Now, we're not psychologists, we're not therapists, we're not doctors. But you know what? What we're good at is listening. And, you know, what we're good at is being understanding to what you're going through. And, you know, until you can see your doctor, or, you know, you may not even need a doctor. You maybe just need someone to talk to. Right?
Yeah.
You can come to us.
Yeah. You know, find somebody who maybe has been through therapy a lot, because, you know, with being in therapy for several years, I've learned a lot of coping mechanisms on how to get through certain situations.
Oh my God, you've learned so many coping mechanisms. I'm so proud of you.
Oh,
I'm so proud of you.
Thank you. You know, I am amazed at how many coping, you know.
I got to give you a double high five for that.
Thank you. So many tools. Absolutely. My therapist has given me so many tools that when I even have a friend call and they're, you know, crying or hysterical about something, you know, I'll always start out with, you know, I love you, but there are things that we can't control.
Right.
You know, and let's talk about how we're going to get through this, you know, and I don't do it condescending. I don't, you know, therapist them out or anything, you know. It's just, and I'll say, I go, this is what my therapist helps me with.
Right.
So that makes it a more personal, you know, like, oh, okay, I'm going to need this kind of help, you know, and that's all we want to do.
Right.
You know?
You're right. You're right. Anything else you want to add to that, babe?
No.
Number 7, why the podcast is a safe space. Sorry, why the podcast is a safe and encouraging space. So, babe, Dawn, why do you think it is important that guests know this podcast is meant to be encouraging and supportive?
Oh, it's very important. And the one thing I could say positive, that if you are having fears or anything like that, this is pre-recorded. So anything, if you say something that you don't want to say, we can always, you know, clip that part out. That was something that Eli had to...
We prefer not to.
We prefer not to, but we understand sometimes when you're talking about something, you might slip a name or slip something else. That happened a lot to me in the beginning. It was just natural for me to say, oh, I talked to so-and-so.
Right.
Without saying so-and-so, you know.
When you first started coming on, I figured out we use open broadcast software, OBS, when we go live from the studio. And we also use OBS to record this podcast for YouTube, and then we extract the audio for the audio-only network. But I added a 1-minute delay to the live streams on YouTube. And if something happens, then I have a 1-minute buffer to do what's called as dumping the delay, meaning it'll cut out that 1 minute, the previous 1 minute section before it goes out to YouTube or wherever else we're broadcasting. And I actually like having that when we're doing things from the studio, because a lot of people on YouTube, like, they've been shut down because other people have come on their channels and done what's called porn bomb them, right? And so if somebody comes on, if you do live shows and you bring on guests and somebody is out of whack, and you don't want that going out there because it can affect you terms of service wise on YouTube and possibly get your channel shut down or at least penalized, you can dump the delay.
Yeah, but great. What we always recommend is if you are live and you worry about bringing somebody on the panel or anything, throw your green screen on before you bring people up or show anything. That way it's not on the screen out to people, and you know, you don't want to be porn bombed when so-and-so is saying, oh, yeah, no, I'm here just to chat about this. And then you pull them up and booyah,
Yeah, I've seen some really weird stuff on YouTube where people have gone on other people's panels and been nude. And most of the people will delete those streams because if they don't, they get flagged. Or the YouTube AI now will catch it and they'll just shut your entire channel down just like that. Even if it's not your fault, you can't let someone do that to you.
That's why I say just let the green screen go up there and check this before you put it on the show.
Anything else you want to add to that, babe? Number 7?
No.
So why do I think it is important that guests know this podcast is meant to be encouraging and supportive? Because that's what we're all about. That's why the organization is called Genuine Networking Association. We want you to feel safe. We want you to feel comfortable. We want you to feel relaxed. We want you to feel accepted. We want you to feel appreciated. We want you to feel loved. And that's important to me. That's important to Don. So we know it's important to you. We know that feeling comfortable and feeling that you're in a trusted space and feeling appreciated and loved and respected is what any normal, decent human being would want, right? We automatically give that to you. That's who Don and I are at a core, which is what I'm trying to say. That's who Don and I are at a core. And so we want to offer that to you because unless you're motivated and inspired by someone trustworthy and safe, I mean, it's going to be difficult for you to get over those fears that could change your life for the better. We want to help you get over those fears that can change your life for the better. Anything else you want to add to that?
No.
Number 8, my love, we are at 1 hour and 12 minutes. This is about you.
Yeah?
Oh, are you looking at this?
I try to get a little heads up, yeah.
Oh, I'll give you the heads. I'll just read it. Why Dawn's voice matters too. So, my lovely lady Dawn, babe, why do you think it matters that you are a part of these conversations too?
I feel it's great to have both a male and a female's perspective.
Perspective
from both sides. Yes, that's right. I said that right.
Yes.
Because we are two different beings, women and men are different and we react different. We receive different. So it's good to have that balance between one another, that if maybe somebody comes in and says something and let's say I don't understand what really they're talking about, Eli will explain it to me and then I could give my opinion on it, which might be completely different than Eli's, which is the great thing about having 5 different voices here. We all have our different minds, and priorities in our lives. So
we do.
It makes us diverse and, a little more, what's the word? I don't know. Just a little bit more secure, safe, happy family life.
Absolutely. Anything else you want to add to that?
No, sir.
Having you in my life and having you as my partner to do this has tremendously increased the value of what I've been trying to create. I'm not even talking 100%. I'm talking 1,000%. Since you became a part of my life, since I realized that your purpose is very similar to mine, helping people. You were a nurse at one point. I still consider you a nurse. It's in your nature and your heart and soul to be giving and loving and to help people. I've seen you sacrifice yourself to help others, and I've done the same thing. And you and I have done that to a fault, which is not necessarily a bad thing, but we got to take care of ourselves first, or else we can't keep helping and taking care of other people, right?
Mm-hmm.
you're critical to this mission, because you're right. The male and female perspective, we're a couple. And for people to be able to trust us, we need to lead by example. And we need to lead by example, not only to the entire public, but even towards our executive team. Dawn, Sandra, and Tia look at us as the example of what they're helping us represent, right? And if they're going to continue to represent us, we've got to be strong. We've got to be responsible. We've got to be as professional as possible, as real as possible. And so having you as a part of my life and helping me run and further create this vision has been life-changing for me. Now, we're still growing, we're still building, and we've been dealing with a lot of distractions over the years that we're in progress of handling, and we're not going to get any further into that. But I can promise you folks that in the near future, you're going to see this organization explode, because positivity is on its way to becoming more popular on the internet than negativity. Mm-hmm. I think people are really tired of negativity, even on the internet. What are your thoughts, babe?
No, I agree with you. I think it's good that we have, although Eli and I are just a year apart, but our three other executives are different ages, come from different parts of the country. So they've all had different experiences that just aren't similar to what Eli and I are putting out there. Mm-hmm. Y'all don't know, how exciting these people's lives have been. And I don't know how much they would like to share with you, but I do know that they would like to help people.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, when it comes to you, I've been very protective. You know that. I've always wanted you to be included, and I've always wanted you to feel included. It's one thing when you have your lady and tell her that you want her included, but what's most important to her is not the fact that you want her included. It's the fact of her feeling included. She has to feel included, whether your intentions are to include her or not. That's one thing we help guys understand when it comes to women. It's not about you saying, I'm giving it my best to make my lady happy and this and that and blah, blah, blah. You have to understand, with women, it's not about what you do. It's about how they feel. And
Very
what you do
so.
affects how they feel.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
So sometimes doing the logically right thing for your lady is not going to feel proper for her. You got to take her feelings into consideration. Right?
Yeah.
How many times, now, I don't always get it right. I'm not perfect, but I'm 52 years old. I understand women better now than I did in my 20s, in my teens, right?
Even in your 40s.
Even in my 40s, absolutely. But at least now, recently, after, I've learned more about, your feelings and what affects your feelings. I've gotten a lot better at taking your feelings into consideration regarding things I do.
Yes,
right?
you have.
Yeah. And so that's another thing that we help people understand here. Another thing, we want to interview people that have been struggling in their relationships. Maybe you've gone through a divorce. Maybe you're currently in a relationship that's not working, and, you need some advice, to do the right thing. I've helped many people on YouTube over the years get out of marriages that weren't working for them. And I got scrutinized by some people online saying that I'm a home wrecker or I'm a marriage wrecker. And no, the truth of the matter is, the people that I've helped, especially one particular person that I helped, is grateful. And he's so much happier now. He's got a great job, and, he's got, a better life, and he's gotten himself into better shape, and he's just really been able to shine. This is not about hurting anyone. Sometimes you've got to remove yourself from a situation to turn your life around. That includes being in a marriage that just wasn't meant to be, or removing yourself from a relationship that wasn't meant to be,
I know we say that a lot. It wasn't meant to be, but I do feel that every relationship has a purpose in your life. And back to another song. God bless the broken roads that have led me straight to you. That's where your life and all of the trials and tribulations and the highs and the lows, all of that leads you to that place where you belong.
Everything happens for a reason is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Right?
Absolutely.
And I mean, what I've heard, and I think you're going to understand this when I say it, is that, sometimes a relationship just runs its course. Have you heard the phrase, relationships sometimes will run their course? It's not that it wasn't good while it lasted. It just wasn't meant to go any further.
Yeah, it's like I say that about my marriage.
Right.
My ex-husband's not a bad man. He's not a bad father. It just got to a point where there was nothing left between the two of us.
Right.
That was going to be beneficial for our children.
Mm-hmm.
So that is why we decided at that point, we're never going to see eye to eye. We're just going to be miserable, which is going to therefore make our children miserable. So sometimes you just have to realize that the relationship is just no longer there. But like I say, I had that marriage to have my children. That was the purpose of that relationship.
That was a beautiful purpose.
Mm-hmm.
It may not have worked out, but you had two wonderful kids out of that. Okay, question 9. You ready for it?
Yeah.
What makes a good GNA guest? So, Don, what do you think makes someone a good guest for the Don and Eli Take on the World podcast?
Anybody that is open to this. I say that because I want to open it up to every single person out there.
Mm-hmm.
But there's going to come people that are going to come maliciously at us. And so there are just people out there that nobody can help. That's just who they are.
Right.
But we're here to, and even you don't even have to put your name out there. It can be completely anonymous and still get our help. You don't have to tell us who you are. Make up a fake email, that's easy enough to do. But that is important to us also, is privacy. And, because that's a big thing about trust. You can't trust a person if you can't expect them to keep a secret, or not even a secret, but just something maybe you don't want the whole world to know, So I think I answered that. I'm just mumbling now. Rumbling.
No. You did fantastic, babe. What do I think makes someone a good guest for the Don and Eli Take on the World podcast? If you have a story, which everyone does, so anyone can be a good guest. If you're a new YouTuber, or you're thinking about starting a YouTube channel and you need help getting over that hump, you're the perfect guest. Anyone that lacks complete experience of creating online, like audio, video, podcasting, or interviewing, or creating any videos or whatever, you're the perfect guest, because we want to help you get over that hump. Because I think anyone and everyone wants to create stuff online nowadays, but they have a lot of fears. We can help you get over those fears. Now, even people that are experienced, your stories can help people in a different way. Take your expertise and help others, and also have your business promoted through our network at the same time. It's a win for us. It's a win for you. It's a win for the audience. It's a win-win-win. The GNA is about win-win situations. We used to call it back in the networking world, like I said, when I used to run the GNA in person all over Northern California, when I was running my insurance business, we would look for win-win scenarios, win-win situations where everybody wins. This is not about just one side. The stuff we've been dealing with on YouTube, to just say briefly, has been one-sided. They've been winning. We've been losing with our own content. There's a problem with that. Here at the GNA, everybody wins. And if doing something involves somebody losing, we don't do it. We only do things here where everybody wins. Bottom line. Let's go to question number 10.
Let's do it.
Number 10, invitation question. My lovely lady Dawn. What would you say directly to someone watching or listening who is thinking about coming on the podcast but feels nervous? This is the hump they need to get over, my love.
Well, yeah, and it's a lot of the stuff I've talked about. First and foremost, if you don't want your name out there, we can completely be anonymous. You can, like I said, make a fake email, send it to us. No names need to be involved. If you're just check in to see if you can get help from us, kind of feeling us out a little bit, that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we want to encourage people to come over and feel us out. See if they feel that we would be helpful for them. That's what essentially is what we are going to need to grow this business
organization.
Business or organization,
right,
yes. Right. And all we want to bring out there is positivity, but unfortunately, there's so much negativity in the world that we just need more people to build this army of positivity. That is something that Eli has worked on for years, is to have people just be positive. And, you know, I guess I can say this and quote Rodney King, can't we all just get along?
Right.
Despite our differences.
You're right about that. Can't we all just get along despite our differences? We all have differences. What would I say directly to someone watching or listening who is thinking about coming on the podcast but feels nervous? I would say you're completely normal.
Yeah.
I would say there's nothing wrong with you. And I understand why you feel that way, because I was nervous as hell when I first started doing this shit 25 years ago. And I say this shit because I'm being direct with you. I'm being frank. But you got to get over that hump. You got to give someone a chance to help you get over that hump. We want to be the people that help you get over that hump, because we're going to do it in a way where you're going to feel comfortable, and you know, we're going to interview in a safe and proper way. Now, there are people that we've known for a while, and for people that we've known for a while, sometimes things get a little aggressive, but that's for experienced people. For the new people,
yeah,
we're going to treat you like a baby, but not
a baby. No,
hold on. I'm not talking about treat you like a baby mentally, but we're going to be nice and easy with you. We're going to be
nice. Level 1 level.
Yeah. We're not going to sit there and interrogate you on things like we may do some more experienced people that we've done some interviews with in the past. You know, sometimes you got to spice things up a little bit because you don't want to bore your audience. But especially for the new people, and even for the people where we spice things up, we respect them and we have an understanding. And a lot of it is just playful fun, playful banter and fun. But feeling nervous is normal. You're going to feel very nervous the first time. You're going to you might even throw up. I mean, you might feel sick to your stomach, especially as it gets closer to the day of your interview, but you got to get over it. And we're the ones to help you get over it, because we'll make it easier on you than anyone else will. Anything else you want to
no
add to that?
No.
Give me a second here. All right. So anyway, okay.
Mhm.
What are your final thoughts, my love?
Well, my final thoughts are for you all to take this show, really sit down and reflect on what you might need in your life. And that might not be us, but it might be our executives. It might even be some of the other members that are in our community. We do have a great community, but like we've said in the past, some of the people are a little scared to come in there for criticism reasons, and not from us, from other people. We won't ever criticize you coming in. And I know several people that are in the chat that are completely under a different name and nobody knows who they are. And I think that's great. I really do. But besides that, yeah, no, just feel comfortable. Make sure you feel comfortable with what you want to do. We don't want to force anything. We just want to be here if you need us. So I think that's it.
Absolutely. I'm at a loss for words right now because this organization means the world to me. It means a lot to me, and to have you by my side to say kind words and to be so encouraging and so positive and so genuine, it really touches my heart. And before we start getting to the ending of the show, I want to thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Babe, no. I want to thank you for being you. I want to thank you for dealing with me for the last 4.5 years, and it has not been easy. We've been through the ringer trying to get this organization off the ground, trying to get our vision off the ground. And you are the only one that hasn't given up on me. And I'm very grateful and thankful for that.
I love you and I support you. And I believe in your vision. I believe in your vision.
I appreciate that. I believe in yours too. I believe we have a similar or the same vision. I believe we really do. And I'm proud of who you are.
I'm
grateful for your support and you being a great partner. All right. Let's wrap up the show. And I will say this. You know, babe, Dawn, I think what this episode really comes down to is connection, real connection, human connection, the kind of connection that happens when people are honest with each other, when they share what they have been through, when they stop pretending everything is perfect, when they say, this is my story, this is what I learned, this is what helped me, this is what hurt me, this is how I grew, this is how I kept going. That is what GNA is about. This is what this podcast is about. It is about reminding people that they are not alone. It is about giving people a platform to speak from the heart. It is about helping guests share their journey in a way that may encourage, inspire, or comfort someone else. Maybe you have overcome something. Maybe you are still overcoming something. Maybe you built a business. Maybe you lost everything and started over. Maybe you have a message. Maybe you have a mission. Maybe you just want to tell the truth about your life. If that is you, we want to hear from you. Come share your story at the GNA. Come be part of a positive conversation. Come help someone else feel less alone, because your story matters. Your voice matters. Your experience matters. And you never know who your story might help. Here at the GNA, we believe in genuine connection. We believe in encouragement. We believe in real conversations. We believe in giving people a place to be heard. And we believe that sometimes the most powerful thing you can say is simply, this is what I went through, and I am still here.
Yes. Yes.
So reach out to us. come on the podcast. Sit down with Dawn and I, and let's talk. Let's encourage people. Let's build something positive together.
Yes.
Let's remind people that their story is not over. And babe, just like I always say at the end of every show, don't
take life for granted.
Don't take life for granted. And with that being said, it is time to start wrapping this up. All right. You've been listening to the Don and Eli Take on the World podcast. This has been episode number 63, and the topic of this show was come share your story at the GNA. One more time. Episode number 63 of the Don and Eli Take on the World podcast was about come share your story at the GNA. All right, one last time before we get on out of here for the week, at least podcast style. If you are listening to us on the audio-only podcast network and you would like to view us on YouTube, if you're on, Amazon. If you're on Apple, let's try that again. Apple, Spotify, Amazon's Music, your very favorite.
iHeartRadio.
One more time.
iHeartRadio. And iHeartRadio.
Third time's a charm. iHeartRadio. I butchered it, but you saved me. iHeartRadio. We're also on Amazon's Audible. We're also on YouTube's Music. On YouTube's Music, there's audio and video because it's owned by YouTube, and our video podcast is on YouTube. If you're listening to us audio only, even on many of the other unknown audio only podcast networks, you can actually do a Google search for the Don and Eli Take on the World podcast and you'll find us there. Go below in the description halfway down and you will see the link that redirects you to our main channel, GNA, Genuine Personal Development. When you go there, please subscribe, bang the bell, and select the notifications so you don't miss anything. Then go below in that description section, a couple lines down, and you'll see the link to our live streaming channel, GNA2, Genuine Live Personal Development, where we go live, if not every day, almost every day. So join us on YouTube and keep in touch with us regularly. With that being said, it's time to go. Have a good one. Take care. And as always, be good to each other.